Hi class, it's Professor Hollis, and I just wanted to go over the Arts Council website. This is a website that you will be creating for a nonprofit guild sponsored by the city government with the goal of promoting artistic and cultural activities in the local community. Your job is to implement the client's new website design based on the approved design that was created in a Photoshop file. So it's going to use various methods to add static images to a web page. You're going to assign alt tags. You're going to manipulate images in a web page. You're going to extract content and styles from a native Photoshop file. And you're going to work with CSS. So it says we want our new site to be very basic, highlighting the three main projects of the council: the Summer Arts Festival, kids workshops, and adult classes. There will be a lot more information about each of our programs on secondary pages, but we haven't finished writing and gathering the content. We've approved the final design comp we saw last week, so we want to get started on the homepage as soon as possible. I sent our logo file to the art director as well as 3 photos that will be featured on the home page. And then the art director says, we've been working on the logo design for this project for several weeks, and the client just approved the layout comp that our artist created in Photoshop. I assigned the HTML structural composition to another web designer, but she has other projects that need to take priority, so your job is to complete the homepage. Once you finish, you'll hand it off to a developer to create secondary pages and the required interactive elements when the client provides the content. A few of the images you need have been saved in the project folder, but some of the assets you need are only available in the Photoshop file. Fortunately, you can use Dreamweaver to access what you need to complete the project. Okay. So if you watch the lecture video, it talks about images and using images on the web. So we're going to go ahead and start on page 110, and you want to download and unzip the council folder if you have not already done so. So I'm going to go to Site and New Site, and I'm going to call it Arts-Council. And my root folder is going to be called Council, and it should already be there. Okay, so here's my site over here. It has a PSD file, which is a Photoshop document, has an index page, styles page, and it has some images, 4 images. So we are going to open up index.html. The layout is already built, so we don't have to do that. We're going to look at it in live view first. So in live view, you can see that we have our navigation up here. We want to put the logo here. And then down in these 3 sections is where we're going to put the 3 images. It says insert image here, insert image here, insert image here. Pretty basic page, and then it has a footer. So I want you to switch to design view, and we're going to go to the split view where we can see the code also. The first thing we're going to do is insert our images. So if you go down in design view where it says insert image here, highlight those words and delete them. So your cursor's right there. If you open up the images folder in your files panel, then you can see festival.jpg. We're going to drag that over to where our cursor is at. And it should go ahead and just pop over there. There's multiple ways you could do this. Clicking and dragging is pretty quick. The other way you can do it is by actually typing out the code for it in the code view. While you have the image selected, which you still should, you can look down in your properties panel and see that its dimensions are 300 by 175. The source of the image is coming from the images folder and festival.jpg, and the image is 37 kilobytes, very small file. I want you to go over to the Alt field, and the Alt field is where you will fill out what the image is in case someone is using a screen reader. Okay. Go ahead and save that. Another way that you can place an image is with the Insert panel and in Live View. So let's go to Live View. And go down until you can see Kids Workshops. And you want to highlight the words Insert Image here in the middle paragraph. You may have to double click on the paragraph to be able to highlight the words. Go ahead and press delete. Okay, and then right now we're in text editing mode since we double clicked in there, so we're going to click away from it in a different paragraph, and then we're going to click back on that paragraph. So go over to your insert panel this time instead of clicking and dragging, and we're going to insert an image. And when the options come up, you can insert it before the paragraph, after the paragraph, or you can nest it inside the paragraph. That's what we want to do, is nest it inside the paragraph. And then it takes us to the browse where we can choose which image we want. So now we're going to choose children.jpg. These images are already sized for our project in particular. So that's why they look so uniform. Somebody went into Photoshop and cropped them all at the same pixel dimensions and saved them. Okay, when you're in Live View, you can click on these three bars surrounding the image, and that's going to allow you to edit the HTML attributes. So it's a lot like the properties panel. So you can type in an alt tag, you have width and height, and you can also link it to something if you want to. So for the alt tag, we're going to put Kids Workshops link. And then press tab. And then to get out of that, you can press the escape key. Okay, so that's another way you can place an image. The code's going to look the same as the drag and drop method. Also in live view, another way you can insert an image, if you click on the third paragraph and select the text, insert image here, and go ahead and delete that. Then press the escape key to get rid of that insertion point. You can also insert an image by clicking and dragging image to that paragraph element. So if you hover over it, it should allow you to drop the image into that paragraph. And then it will know already that it needs to nest inside of that paragraph. And this one, we're going to use adults.jpg. And then go ahead and click on the 3 bars and add an alt tag that says adult classes link. Okay, and then you can save that. So we have one more image we're going to insert, which is the logo, and I'll show you another way you can insert an image. So go ahead and go up to where the logo is going to go. And you're going to highlight the words insert logo here. And delete those words. And then press the escape key to get out of text mode. So it looks like we have a H1 header that we're going to place this in. Now to place this image, we're going to do it from the Assets panel. So you might already have it down at the bottom of your panels. It's called Assets. If not, you can go to Window and Assets and it'll come up. So assets are anything like images, music, videos, anything that you would want to add as multimedia content, basically. So in the Assets panel, you can click Images, and it'll just show you images related to this site in the Site Root folder. And you want to select the logo, caclogo.png. And you still have this header element selected over here, so leave that and go ahead and just click Insert at the bottom of the Assets panel. And then you want to click Nest so that it puts it inside of that H1 header. So it's placed the logo, and then we're going to add an alt tag down in the Properties panel that says Community Arts Council. And then you can save that. So in live view, our image is looking a bit too big, like it's overflowing its box. So we need to actually resize our image to where it looks like it's fitting inside that box. So the next part of this is how to resize and resample an image within Photoshop. Within Dreamweaver. You don't have to use Photoshop. So go back to Design View and make sure the image is selected. If it's outlined in a gray box, it is, or a black box. Then you want to go down to the Properties panel and see where it has width and height, and then it has pixels and the lock button. Go ahead and click the lock. And make sure it is locked. So mine was locked before. So that's going to lock the aspect ratio. So it's going to keep the width to height ratio the same. We want it locked, so we're going to change the width to 550. And then that's going to change the height to be proportional to the width. So now that you've changed the width, you can see that there's a little reset button and a check mark. If you click the check mark, it's going to actually size that image. And it's going to change the placed image file to match, okay? So it's cutting down your image. Normally you wouldn't want to do that unless you've saved a copy of the image, of the original image. Okay, so we're going to press enter or click the check mark. It says you're about to permanently alter the image. Okay. So now we've cut our image down. And then the other way you can do some resizing is by clicking and dragging. So if you will go down to the bottom right image handle and hold down Shift and drag up and to the left, you can also resize that way until your height field is 250. So that puts your width at 498 if you do that. You have to hold down Shift to lock the aspect ratio. Okay, then go ahead and click the check mark. Okay, let's go back to our Files panel and right click on the CAC logo. And then go down to the Edit menu and choose Duplicate. It's going to create a duplicate of that image. Click on the original file, CAC logo.png, and we're going to add a ending to its name, -small, and press enter. And anytime you change the name of something, whether it's a HTML file or an image, you just click update. Okay, and go ahead and save that. Okay, so the next part